Hello. Today is Monday, September 11th, and we are in the final stretch of the second arrow of manifestation, the second segment of our manifestation cycle of the year. We're closing up Virgo season. We're closing up the mutable part of the cycle. As we've discussed before, manifestation has three parts. There's the initiation, there's the sustaining part, and then there's the changing or ending part. And we've had two of these cycles now, from Aries to Gemini, where things changed our mind, from Cancer to Virgo, where we're literally changing our physical environment now. We're changing the earth. And so we have 2 more weeks of this initiation, and last week was all about our maturation, coming into stewardship of the materials and resources of our life. And this year, it's landing in an energy that's very similar to the Empress. It's the Queen of Pentacles. And Empress or Queen of Pentacles energy is one where we sit back in the throne of our life. We take responsibility for our ability to create this throne, and taking responsibility for the fact that we did create what's already here, and being very contemplative, being very internally aware and oriented toward the way we're going to use our current resources moving forward. I always say that when we're in Queen weeks, the Queen knows what she desires, what she's building, how she is in relationship to her kingdom. And she's the one that gives orders to the king. And the king is the part of us that serves the queen, that does what the queen wants. So getting really clear on what the queen of our self wants in this week is what this initiation is all about. And I'm going to read actually this week. I'm just going to read a little bit of the initiation. The Queen of Pentacles is gracing us with integration. We're integrating our gifts, our lessons, our power, and our creations. The line has been drawn, and we are at a pivotal point where we're ready to make new decisions. Open your eyes wide. The choices we're making now will be the foundation of the next big picture cycle. Oops, here we go. Sorry, now is the time to not just lean into our fear, but to befriend it, knowing it is the only gate to our liberation, truth, and embodiment of authenticity. Integrate and use our tools. It's time for our inner priest or priestess to practice what is preached. All of the people in our world are sweet reflections of opportunities for us to treat ourselves the way that we would want. Oh man, I've got to rewrite this. Basically, it's saying that the people in our world represent parts of us, and how we choose to treat the people in our world is a representation of how we would treat ourselves, or vice versa. And so we are looking at the people we serve, our loved ones, our children. We're seeing everyone as we're moving into the next stage, which is all about being in right relationship. We're beginning to see that queen sovereignty, that responsibility that we have as queens to trust our soul, to trust what our soul is telling us to do. The queen is very intuitive, and to understand that that will guide the right relationships that we're moving into as we move into Libra season. While it is the time of harvest, it's also the time of planning what's to come, having great discernment, and choosing with full consciousness of what we'd like to prepare and store for our future. Yeah, we've had the chance to see what's not sustainable, and we know what our soul and heart truly desire, or what we do not desire. So now we do the careful and honest work of cultivating. So that is essentially what this week is about. It's interesting because Venus is now moving direct. Last night I woke up early this morning and I was able to see the moon and Venus together in Leo. We're having a Leo moon right now, and it's sort of like, okay, now that the queen knows, the queen has retrograded all the way back into the deepest space of the heart, and now that the queen is moving forward, she's one of the only planets moving forward for us right now. Only Venus and Mars are actually moving in direct motion. So we have this queen and king weeks, and these parts, this masculine and feminine energy within us is what is now moving forward with the plans. And the masculine and feminine energy are strong creative forces when they work together, but we have to understand that Mars is thinking about moving forward in being in right relationship. Mars is already over in Libra, so Mars is very concerned with thinking about the other, thinking about the way that the way that we treat ourselves and the way that we treat others is the primary focal point for all of our actions right now. And then the queen is making sure that it's in integrity with our hearts. So that's the way the energy is feeling this week. I'm going to break down each day. Yesterday, the sun moved from Cancer to Leo. And we also had Chiron moving another degree retrograde. Chiron was actually sitting at 19 degrees for a long time. It's stationed at 19 degrees. And when it's stationed at 19 degrees, it was healing the wounds around times in the past where things failed. So we spent a lot of time thinking about all of the ways things didn't work for us in the past, all of the ways that we messed things up, or we thought it was a mistake, or we chose poorly, or whatever. And now Sunday, it moved another degree in. And now this degree at 18 is asking us to really think about how this time is going to be different. Why is it different this time? Sure, we can do an inventory of all the ways that it was not okay before, but it's a really strong moment. Well, yesterday began a really strong moment where the words I have are commit to changing your destiny this time. It is different this time because you're different this time. We've gone through things. We've gone through changes. We've gone through initiations. And so we can commit to changing our destiny because the past does not equal our future. The past outcomes are not going to be the same as the future outcomes because we have learned and we are different now. So that was Sunday, commit to changing your destiny. Then on Monday, the sun is in Leo. And as I said, the moon is in Leo, I'm sorry. And as I said, the moon was in a conjunction, is still in a conjunction to Venus right now. So we're really feeling alignment with all of the work our heart has done in the last 40 days or so, 50 days now. And so I have here the words are feeling our dreams moving forward. It's one thing to commit to changing our destiny. It's quite another to really feel and know that our dreams are moving forward. So getting the sensation of our dreams moving forward and being different this time than any past experience we've ever had. Then on Tuesday, the moon will still be in Leo and it will cross over Black Moon Lilith. We've been talking a lot about Black Moon Lilith this summer. I feel, there's a couple of alignments happening Tuesday and Wednesday that might cause some slight restrictions, might cause a little bit of fear, might pucker our I don't know, our dreaming lens just a little bit. So just be aware that that's a part of what this expansion could feel and look like this week. Uranus is retrograding back to 22 degrees. 22 degrees of Taurus with Uranus there, that's the degree of the master builder. And we're so lucky that Uranus is going back to that degree because the master builder is what creates the revolutionary change. So it's actually an energy that's really supporting our commitment to our new destiny. And the words I have for Tuesday are become the master builder. And what does it mean to become the master builder? I believe it has something to do with behaviors, but it could mean something different to you. The fact that this is an earth sign, and earth signs rule the tangible world. This is definitely an energy that is asking us to treat the tangible world differently in some way, shape, or form, to become the master builder and face any fears around what that could look like. Then on Wednesday, the moon will have moved into Virgo, and it will be in opposition to Saturn right as it moves into Virgo, and we're preparing for our new moon on Wednesday. I feel that in light of the Black Moon Lilith conjunction the night before and the opposition to Saturn, this is when I'm saying there could be that sensation of constriction. The thing I'm telling myself for Wednesday is, don't let my emotions sabotage what I'm doing, what I've committed to. Don't let emotions fill me up and cause me to retreat away from everything that I know is good for me, right for me, best for me. And that could be as simple as having an emotion that's telling you that you can't lay in bed, that you've got to get up and you've got to do this. There could be this emotional bullying that we experience with Saturn, telling us that we have to be so rigid, so pressured, so strong. We have to be a certain way. And that emotion could actually keep us from doing the thing that we've committed to doing, which maybe is to fully hold and support ourselves no matter what we're feeling, to allow ourselves the rest that we need, to have the grit to recover from something. So I want to make sure I'm not framing this as like, don't be a baby, get out of bed and don't let your emotions like sabotage your actions. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying pay attention to what you deeply need, what preparing for a new moon truly looks like for you, and don't let your emotions, which are connected to beliefs. Feelings are different from emotions. Feelings are just sensations. Emotions are beliefs and meanings combined to create an environment of emotion, a movement of emotion. So emotions do have sensations, but emotions also have beliefs. So pay close attention to whatever those beliefs are that are generating even more sensations for you. That's the primary thing I want to get through on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, the moon will still be in Virgo. We have that new moon, and it'll be in trine to Pluto. I believe that this new moon is going to feel like a shift in power. I believe that the innovation that we're uncovering within ourselves, that Empress energy that we're sitting into our throne with, that's going to shift a power dynamic in our lives. So piggybacking on the example I gave about Wednesday, what if the power shifts into complete stewardship and confidence and support of what the physical body desires and feels? And what if that power shift is a shift from any kind of bullying beliefs or thoughts or ideas, and now those beliefs don't have the power and our body is the one that has the power? It's tricky when we're dealing with internal structures. There might be external structures that are very obvious, and there might be external power shifts that are very obvious that shift this week. Virgo is about owning our own sovereignty, and sovereignty to me means that we can listen to our soul and act from it freely. That's what it means for me. So if the new moon in Virgo is innovating our lives so that we can have more sovereignty to act from our soul, then I see Thursday as a power shift toward that. Then on Friday, the moon will move from Virgo to Libra. Mercury will be moving direct, and Black Moon Lilith is moving up 1 degree. So there's a few things happening on Friday. I feel it's going to feel like a fresh start in many, many ways, not just because Mercury is moving direct, but because we're on the other side of that new moon. The moon will then be in Libra. We're moving toward Libran energy in the next week. It's going to feel like a fresh start that we're committed to, that we feel confident about, that we're sitting in our throne about. And when Black Moon Lilith moves another degree up, the fears change from a place where we were questioning whether or not we could keep the commitment our heart made, whether it's like, are we going to be able to cash the checks our heart's been writing? It's going to move to a place of, well, now that I'm not afraid of committing to it, how's it all going to turn out? How will it turn out? Will it succeed the way I thought it would? I'm not sure, but we're not afraid of the commitment anymore, which is great. Now we just are wondering how it's going to go. So this fresh start comes with a few really specific flavors and spices, and it's supported. I believe that this is the queens are always places also where we just have faith and inner knowing, and having the faith and inner knowing in this fresh start is what's going to employ the king energy in the following week to just take action in service to the queen. So on Saturday the 16th, we have a moon in Libra, and the words I have are, we are ready to commit to right relationship. And that goes back into the previous part of the initiation I was talking about. We're ready to commit to right relationship between our inner knowing and our outer expression, our inner way we treat ourselves and the way we treat others, or vice versa. So I am feeling pretty excited about the way this is going. My life is lining up with these things quite perfectly, and it's been, like I said, tracking all of this weekly has created such uncanny synchronicities and support. I'm receiving all kinds of spiritual signs again. Virgo is opposite Pisces. Pisces loves to receive the spiritual signs to remind Pisces that we are on track. Don't worry. Don't get too caught up in the details. Continue just doing your human thing and taking step by step. But let me just remind you that this is just one phase of the journey. There's a bigger picture here on a long enough timeline. This is one snapshot of a beautiful long journey. If you're not feeling super confident, secure, aware, embodied in your throne at this moment, that's because the journey's not over. We're only halfway through a manifesting cycle. Please have compassion for yourself. That's what Pisces is saying about all of this. Don't take it so seriously, even though sometimes the way that I roll is Saturnian, especially with Saturn over in Pisces right now. Saturn might be like, no, this is serious. This is your spiritual mission. You got to do this. Like, Saturn can be very like, I'm gonna take all these high level spiritual concepts, I'm gonna make it super real for you. And fine, and still on a long enough timeline, right? So that's all I got to say. I hope this all lands for you, and I'm looking forward to hearing how your weeks are going. Here we go.